It was a calm morning in the world of Minecraft. Steve woke to the soft rays of sunlight streaming through the windows of his wooden house. He stretched as he did every day, grabbed some bread from the chest, and set out for another mining trip. But something was strange. The sky was darker than usual, the wind blew hard, and even the animals seemed restless. Unable to explain why, Steve decided to head to the opposite side of the forest he always explored, a place he had never set foot in before. As he walked, he noticed a trail of cracked blocks leading to a rock formation unlike anything he had ever seen. It was like a forgotten ruin, covered in moss, cobwebs, and silence. In the center of the ruin was a structure. It looked like a portal, but it wasn't made of obsidian. The edges were a dark blue stone with strange symbols. In the middle, a violet light pulsed, as if the very air there was trembling. Steve approached. Each step increased the pressure around him. The sound of the world seemed to vanish. He hesitated, but instinct or perhaps curiosity took over. With a trembling hand, he touched the center of the structure. In an instant, the portal opened with a deep roar. A dark wind blew from within, and without time to think, Steve was sucked in. When he opened his eyes, he was somewhere else. The ground was coal black. The sky was completely red. There was no sun, no moon. Only floating towers, dead vegetation, and blocks that moved on their own against the horizon. Steve walked carefully. His footsteps echoed, even though he was standing on grass. He heard something breathing, but it wasn't his. Turning quickly, he saw a figure. A floating being, shrouded in shadows, faceless. Only red eyes, glowing in the darkness. The creature didn't attack, just watched him. Steve ran. For hours or perhaps days, time seemed to stop there. Steve wandered through that distorted world. He found ruins bearing ancient writings, fragments of other adventurers, and most frighteningly, parts of the real world began to appear there, as if the two worlds were merging. In one of these ruins, he found an altar. Within it, a book floated, enveloped in purple particles. Touching it, he had visions. That portal had been sealed by ancient magicians, because it unleashed an entity that devoured entire realities. And he had broken the seal. The book said there was only one way to stop the advance of chaos. Find 3 sealing crystals hidden in that world. And then, sacrifice himself to close the portal from within. With no choice, Steve set out in search of the crystals. He faced deformed creatures, reverse caves, magical puzzles, illusions, and even himself, a copy created by the dark world itself. With great courage, he obtained the 3 crystals. He returned to the portal, and there it was, the final entity, a colossal being, seemingly made of pure shadow, waiting. Steve ran toward the portal, activated the crystals, and at the last second looked back. If I leave, the world disappears. But if I stay, you live. With a leap, Steve entered the heart of the portal. A scream echoed throughout the biomes. The sky brightened. The grass turned green again. The mobs returned. Everything returned to normal. But no one ever saw Steve again. Some say he's become a legend. Others say he still lives within the portal, protecting the world from within. And on moonless nights, if you listen closely, you can hear a voice whispering his name.